Hey my friends, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm gonna talk about something that I'm super excited about, and that is sound and microphones. Specifically, these two microphones. I'm gonna give you a comparison of the famous Blue Yeti and the super professional Shure SM7B. Two microphones that I've used extensively in my course creation, in my content, and I'm super excited to share this with you because I want to help you get the specific amazing sound, the best sound that you can get. For me personally, sound is super important because when the sound isn't good, when I watch videos or when I listen to courses, then I get a bit offended and I get headachy. So it's very important for me to get the sound right. Now I'm gonna be comparing these two in terms of prices, pros, cons, setup, and so much more. So we're gonna start with the Blue Yeti over here that has been my loyal companion and loyal friends for, I guess, about 4 years that I've been creating courses, creating content, and I love it. Now, I've created 15 courses with this microphone, and I think so far, so good. You tell me if you've done my courses and you think the sound is good, let me know. I've worked very hard on that. So let's start with the pros of the Blue Yeti over here. So first of all, the Blue Yeti is what we call a condenser mic. And this means that you can literally plug it in with a USB. You plug it in USB this way, and then the USB on the other side, and you're ready to go. Okay, so the first pro is how easy it is to set up. You literally plug and play. It comes with a cable, USB cable. You plug it in this side, plug it in that side, and you're ready to go. Except if you have a new Mac, like I do right now, you might need a little adapter. Okay, so this is great for clumsy people like me. I find tech quite overwhelming sometimes, so the Blue Yeti was so great for me when I was a beginner because everything felt overwhelming, and the Blue Yeti didn't, so that was great. Okay, so the second pro is that it's super easy to transport. It's this tiny little thing, it's very light, and you can take it with you everywhere. So if you're one of those lucky people that are a digital nomad, good for you, then the Blue Yeti will be easy to transport in your suitcase. The third and probably most important pro is that it's super affordable. Yes, the Blue Yeti comes at a price of maybe $100 to $130, depending where you buy it from. You can buy it on Amazon. So yeah, pretty cheap. And pretty good for the price. Quality for price. The fifth pro is that it comes with its own mic stand. So if you don't really want to invest in a mic stand like I have here, I have a boom arm stand, the little arm, then you can go ahead and use that given stand that comes with the Blue Yeti. So there we have it for the pros. Now let's talk about the cons. They're very important. So first of all, you're gonna need something called a pop filter, which is this guy over here. And especially if you have an accent like mine, where you pronounce the P's and the T's and the S's, and you spit a little bit like my accent, then you're gonna need a pop filter because it will kind of clean up the sound and it will block the spitting of the P's and the T's so that it sounds more clean. So for me, that was very important. I had to get one. And you can find as cheap as $15 on Amazon or whatever platform you want to buy equipment. Okay, so the second and maybe most important con about the Blue Yeti is that it picks up all the sound of the room. So that means that you're gonna have to set up the room really well. So there's no echo. So if you have hard walls and windows and wooden walls, you're gonna need to pop a lot of blankets everywhere and pillows and cushions and cat trees, maybe if you have a cat like me. I even have blankets hanging up from the ceilings, and I got curtains so it closes the echo. I bought these foam, anti-echo foam boards. I forgot what they're called, but I'm gonna write them in the show notes, captions. So yeah, I've really worked hard on getting the room perfect and removing all the echo. So that's why you may have found that the sound sounds great on my courses, I hope. And that's because I worked hard on perfecting the room. Okay, so the fourth con is that the sound might be inconsistent at times for the Blue Yeti. Now, I have a sort of voice where I can go really high, I can go really low, so it's very irregular. I can sing a little bit as I talk, I've been told. And sometimes the Blue Yeti can distort that. So if my voice goes very high, the sound will sound a bit robot-y, so it's not ideal. It doesn't sound amazing. So that's a downside. And sometimes I have to edit it in post. And last but not least, it picks up the vibrations of the desk. So if there's a bit of vibration and movement, and I talk a lot with my hands, so I tend to move and I move the desk, the Blue Yeti will pick up that sound. And especially if it's sitting on a mic stand, the one that's been given in that beautiful cool box of the Blue Yeti with the little monster, love it. But yeah, it comes with its own stand, and the stand picks up the desk vibration. So that's not ideal. So I had to get a boom arm stand so that you don't get those vibrations. Yeah, so all in all, there's a lot of drawbacks and negatives with the Blue Yeti, but I still love it, and I'm still so happy and grateful that it exists and made my journey possible. So it's amazing, especially if you're getting started, if you don't have that high budget, if you don't want to spend a lot of money, you're just starting, you're taking a risk, you're not sure if this is going to take off. So you might as well invest in the cheaper Blue Yeti that is reliable, that is good. Okay, now let's talk about the beautiful, gorgeous Shure SM7B that I'm so excited. I'm currently talking from that mic right now, and I feel super professional. I feel like one of those podcasters like Joe Rogan or Mel Robbins or Andrew Huberman. It's just incredible. I love it. Okay, so we're gonna talk about the pros. So the Shure SM7B is what we call a dynamic microphone. So it's not a USB plug-in. Whoops. So the first pro is that it has that sharp, warm sound that we love, that I love. It's like a podcaster voice, and I love that. It makes the voice very deep and professional. The second pro is that the sound is consistent. So it's quite consistent. It doesn't go so up and high. I love it. Very reliable. Again, it has a deep, warm voice. The third pro is that it doesn't distort the voice as much like the Blue Yeti. My voice stays consistent and it's great. The fourth pro is that it's environmentally independent, which just means that it doesn't depend on the room. Like, it doesn't matter as much as the Blue Yeti how my room is. If I have bare walls and windows and everything and an empty room, it's still gonna sound a bit okay. It's even better when you echo-proof the room, but it's still okay. And then my favorite part, my favorite pro is that it looks gorgeous, right? I think it just looks so pretty and so professional, and I think it just looks stunning. I feel very professional and podcastery with this microphone. And I chose a mic stand called the Elgato Wave because I find it stunning, a very sleek design. Okay, so let's talk about the cons of the Shure SM7B because there's a few ones. So the first and probably most important con is that unfortunately it's pretty expensive. The mic itself is around $400 depending on where you're at, and you're even gonna need to invest in additional gear, which leads me to the second con. You're gonna need to invest in additional gear, and that's not great because you're gonna need a bunch of equipment. So the microphone itself comes like over here, this, and you're gonna need a lot of other stuff to set it up, to make it work. First of all, you're gonna need 2 XLR cables. So it's not USB, it's those XLR cables. Secondly, you're gonna need a very sturdy mic stand. You're gonna need a audio interface. Not this one specifically, but this is the one I'm using. Which leads me to the next con. It has a low output, meaning it doesn't sound very loud. So in order to make the Shure SM7B louder, it's been recommended to me to use the cloud lifter, which boosts the signals and makes sure that it's louder. But that means that we have already 3 pieces of equipment, and this can even go up to like $700, $800, which isn't ideal if you're a beginner, if you don't have that budget. Which leads me to the 4th con. It's not very easy to set up. Personally, I was a bit intimidated and overwhelmed before setting up. I was very scared. I was like, whoa, I need to get this, I need to get that. There's a lot involved. And yeah, there's a little bit more steps involved in order to set it up, and it's not ideal. But once you set it up, it's done. The 5th con is that there's no USB. So you can't just plug it in to the computer. Like I said, you're gonna need to plug it in with the XLR from the microphone to the cloud lifter to boost that volume. And then the second XLR from the cloud lifter to the audio interface. And then from there, a USB to the computer. So it's quite a few plugs and steps involved. And then the final con is that because it's quite heavy and chunky and because it's expensive, you're gonna want a really high quality, sturdy boom arm stand. Like the one I'm using, I chose the Elgato Wave Arm because I think it looks so pretty, and because the thick XLR cables, they just slip in beautifully and neatly in that stand, so you don't see the cables all over the place. So yeah, that's pretty much the gist of the pros and the cons of both mics. But all in all, I love both of them. I've been very happy with my loyal friend, the Blue Yeti. I created 15 courses and they sound great. And now I'm obsessed with the warm voice of the Shure SM7B. So basically, if you're a beginner and you don't have the budget, go for the Blue Yeti because it's great. If you are a bit more advanced and you have that budget, go for the Shure SM7B. But either way, this is a win-win because both are really amazing in my opinion. Okay, now I'm gonna talk about how to set up both microphones. And you'll notice that one is longer than the other in terms of setting up. So first we have the Blue Yeti. It was so easy for me. I literally opened the box and the Blue Yeti came with a USB cable. Plug the USB here and then plug the other USB to my laptop. I got a boom arm stand. I screwed it on and I added a pop filter, which I also screwed on. And there we go. Set it and forget it. Now let's talk about the Shure SM7B. So for the Shure SM7B, you're also gonna have to add a software for the Focusrite audio interface. And you're gonna have to need 2 XLR cables, the cloud lifter, and the Elgato Wave Arm. So first go to your laptop and install getstarted.focusrite.com, which is the Focusrite control software. You're gonna need that to make the Focusrite audio interface work. And then make sure that in terms of the Focusrite, you put the gain in the middle. That's where I feel most comfortable, but you can play with that and see. Make sure the second knob is all the way to the left. And make sure you press 48V if you use the cloud lifter. If you don't use a cloud lifter, then you don't need to press that. That just means that it's phantom power, and it just means that it will make the cloud lifter work so that the sound is louder. that's pretty much it for the Focusrite. Now, the microphone, you're gonna need to screw on to your mic stand and then pop the XLR cable, one of them, in the microphone. And then personally, I'm gonna slide it beautifully in my Elgato Wave Arm. I can just pop the cables inside the right spot and it's magnetic, and then I can close the lid, and it's just so beautiful and sleek, isn't it? Then I'm gonna pop the second XLR cable end in the cloud lifter, and then a second XLR cable from the other end of the cloud lifter to the Focusrite. And then the Focusrite, a USB cable to the laptop. So like I said, there's a lot of steps involved and it could be headachy, but don't worry, you got this. If I can do it and I'm clumsy, you got this. So all in all, both are great. Now I'm gonna talk quickly into both microphones and you're gonna tell me which one you think sounds better. It's very possible that the Blue Yeti will sound even better just because I've personally set up the room so well so that there's no echo and the sound is sharp. Okay, so I'm gonna share. I'm gonna talk into the mic. Hey guys, I'm Kate Silver and welcome to my channel. Make sure to subscribe for more Adobe tutorials and tech tutorials. And voila, let's get started. And now I'm going to talk into the second mic, the Blue Yeti. Hey guys, I'm Kate Silver and welcome back to my channel. Make sure to subscribe for more Adobe tutorials and tech tutorials. And voila, let's get started. So that's pretty much it, my friends. Let me know what you thought of this video and which microphone you're more likely to buy, which sounds better, and what you think the sound is in my classes. Are you happy with it? Do you think I should change it? Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and like it for more Adobe tutorials. It's been an honor to teach you and to talk about something that I'm really excited about. See you soon.